Hey everyone, TimaeuSS here. Welcome to another NIKKE video. So if you saw my previous video regarding the Laplace gameplay, you know that at that point I recommended you not to pull for Laplace, right? Just because she wasn't as strong as she was on her initial test server launch, and you know, in comparison to some of the Pilgrim units, she didn't do that well. However, let me draw your attention to some of the findings that I've discovered after my viewers and my guildmates were able to test Laplace across various different contents. So again, I want to thank my guildies from Scarlet as well as on my Discord channel. They've been testing Laplace as well. So okay, let's discuss what areas she will shine, because I think a lot of you probably pulled her already or are still on the fence, and my goal is to obviously provide the most comprehensive information possible. So the initial assessment for Laplace, like I've said, is wait, hold, skip. Okay, however, let's take a look today in this video where she can actually shine. So let's go into the game. So of course I have my account here, and Laplace actually through various testings does have some of her uses across various boss stages, especially ones like Chatterbox where the red boxes are close together, the hitboxes are close together. She being a rocket launcher is really good actually. So we will bring her to the test, and I'm going to show you how she functions. So I have two bosses right now, okay, Chatterbox as well as Moderna, that we can test on. So this is going to be fantastic, and just kind of laying the background behind the stats. So you can see Laplace here is 16k in attack, and this time I'm still going to do the Scarlet initial test, and I'll do a non-Pilgrim test. But the Scarlet is sitting at 15.7. She's got a bit higher in terms of the skill level, 6.4, whereas Laplace is, I think, 3.3. So it's fine for Laplace to have a bit more attack because obviously fewer skill levels. So let's bring her first to floor 90. So a lot of people that were stuck on floor 90 actually cleared floor 90 from basically the use of Laplace. So let's take a look. And because I had to strip some gears down to make sure they're somewhat on equal footing, this team obviously is not optimized. Alright, it's not optimized. So again, we just want to see what the damage looks like. So we'll take a look. And like I've said, Laplace having that AoE rocket launcher radius that expands after a few attacks is really good. Really good in Chatterbox, where a lot of the hitboxes are together. And what we'll do is we'll actually go into Scarlet to dodge attacks like these, and also when there is the red the circles, we have to do a bit of a manual. So let's see how we are doing right now. Actually, we can probably check the damage, because we have to do here. There we go, that was close. Alright, we need to pay a bit of attention, I would say. Okay, so Scarlet has used her ultimate as well, so let's take a look. And you can see, look at Laplace's damage. Extremely impressive. Look at that, way above Scarlet, almost double. And this is after the both bursts were used, right? So very good. Oops. Okay, that's fine. Let's restart this. Actually, we'll retry because Laplace died as of not paying attention. So again, Chatterbox is a really good example. Okay, Chatterbox is a very good example where this is a boss fight, and the parts of the boss are extremely close together. Okay, let's dodge this, and then Laplace is going to be able to hit basically across every single. Look at that laser damage. Very impressive. Very impressive. Okay, so after the first burst, Laplace is ahead obviously, and then we need to do this. Okay, just to pop the red and go back. Alright, and we'll just see Scarlet's damage. Let's dodge. Oh, I didn't dodge that. That's fine. And we'll just pause because I think this will kill Laplace, right? Or not quite. Okay. And of course more damage. Alright, let's take a look. So yes, against Chatterbox, worth it, absolutely worth it. Okay, so we know already from various testings from my guildies as well as my viewers that against units like Chatterbox, the bosses with close parts, okay, the boss with close parts is absolutely absolutely strong. So let's take a look at her performance in other bosses. So for example, we did the train one, right? We did the gravedigger one, and it didn't really work out that well. Okay, it did not work out that well. However, what if we took her to Moderna? What if we took her to Moderna? So let's take a look. Moderna, the parts, I don't think they're that close together. So potentially, and I'll actually put here and up there. There we go. So potentially with a boss that have parts more separate, you know, it's not as good. So we'll see, okay? But if it is, then I think there needs to be, you know, an update to the recommendations of Laplace 100%, because you know, she's actually decent. She's actually decent. So let's take a look. Again, in this one, I don't think Laplace's range will hit across all of them. So this is okay. So this is using Scarlet's. Okay, this was at post Scarlet's. All right. So Scarlet obviously comes out top in this one, and I'm just gonna quit and swap the position of Scarlet with Laplace, and then we can see how she does. So we saw that here Scarlet was at 500k versus Laplace was at 38. And let's swap this around and see how she does. Alright. Overall, I'm actually very impressed. I'm very impressed. I think for me moving forward, definitely I'm going to be more specific in terms of the testing requirement. And again, you guys, you know, updating the stuff for me and pinging me every time there is stuff like this is very, very helpful. So okay, let's cover and dodge. Okay, so Laplace did unfortunately get stunned there, but look at the damage. Okay, so damage wise, Laplace is doing really, really great. Really great. Okay, so let's see how she fares after the second burst, which is Scarlet's, right? So let's see. Okay, so Scarlet bursted, and we're still in the burst. So Scarlet, of course, is starting to overtake. Okay. And are we going to be able to see if we are another burst? Because I think that way we'll be able to tell how's the damage wise looking. Yeah, so Scarlet is edging on top, but Laplace is definitely keeping up. And against single target damage, she is 100% edging out here against units like here. So look at this. Look at this. Okay, so unfortunately she whiffed. Okay, so she did whiff a lot of that ultimate, so of course losing out on that damage, and Laplace has now used 2 bursts versus Scarlet's 1, and they're still at the same damage. Okay, that's fine. So the conclusion after this, because we did 3 boss tests, right? 1 Chatterbox, 1 in the previous video we did Gravedigger, and now we did this one, which is Moderna. So in my opinion, she is, I think, okay. She's okay. Not as bad as I initially thought. Clouded by obviously when she was nerfed compared to her first initial release, but I think she's gonna have her uses in boss fights 100%, right? Especially if you're manualing. I think she does have her uses in boss fights. And yeah, my recommendations, however, is if you still have a unit that can do AoE that is decently good in terms of damage, you can technically skip Laplace, right? If you have sorry, someone like a Drake, someone like Sugar for the shotgun team, or someone like a Scarlet, you can skip. But however, if you have a unit like Privity only or Rupee, you can really consider pulling Laplace. But we'll have to see what the next upcoming banners look like. There are some really good ones. So for you, if it's not waifu material, and if you're chasing for the absolute meta, I would say you can still technically skip, but we don't know what future boss content will be like. So if you're unsure, you can always grab a copy of Laplace and go from there. To me, I will probably wait for more data. I have a copy of her, and I'll just stop at 1 copy for now. I don't know if I'll limit break her to 3. We'll have to see. Okay, but anyhow, hopefully this is a more in-depth testing. And yeah, I will compare her damage right now to to some of the other non-pilgrim unit, because I know that's what you guys were keen to see as well. So this is the team I loaded up, and if we're to enter the shooting range with this team, we can see how much damage she's able to do. Oh, I have to strip Laplace in this testing mode to make sure the results are fair. So let's exit this, and we'll leave the shooting range, and we will just strip her of her gears, and then we'll try again. Here we go. Making sure that you know, they're all in the same testing field. Perfect. Okay, so now let us save and let us enter the shooting range. And that will be basically the end of this video, where I'm going to show you guys what the numbers look like. Okay. So wait until after Privity's burst ends, so that we can compare the first burst, which is Laplace, and then of course the second burst, which is Privity. Because I think Privity should be a good baseline that people might be comparing Laplace against. Perfect, so that was Laplace burst, and it has ended, and now we'll wait for the next charge so we can see Privity. Alright, we're almost there, and Privity is going to use the AoE, and we'll wait for this to conclude. After the burn runs out, we'll look at the damage, and that will be the assessment of Laplace against non-pilgrim units. But against bosses, especially Chatterbox, Laplace can definitely keep up. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so same damage, alright? Same damage against non-pilgrims. So anyhow, guys, hopefully this was clear enough, and hope you see the strength of Laplace in some content, and also how she compares against some of the non-pilgrims. But anyhow, it's TimaeuSS here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye now.